Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to have you here as we delve into the fascinating world of Masonic tradition and mystery. Today, we'll be exploring the mystery of Hiram Abiff's death, focusing on various interpretations and theories that have intrigued Masons and historians alike. Over the next few slides, we'll uncover different perspectives, historical insights, and symbolic meanings behind this legendary story. So, without further ado, let's begin our journey into this intriguing aspect of Masonic lore. Let's take a moment to look at the contents of this presentation. We start with an introduction to Hiram Abiff, a central figure whose story is rich with symbolism and historical significance. Moving forward, we'll explore the various theories surrounding his death, examining different perspectives and interpretations. We'll then delve into the symbolism embedded in his story, which often carries deeper meanings related to morality, integrity, and the pursuit of knowledge. Next, we'll consider the historical context in which Hiram Abiff's story emerged, helping us understand its origins and cultural background. We'll analyze the key characters involved, their roles, and what they represent within this narrative. We'll also look at the role of rituals, which are essential for understanding how this story has been passed down and its significance within various traditions. Following that, we'll examine how modern interpretations influence our understanding today and recognize the enduring impact of Hiram Abiff's story in different contexts. We'll also hear perspectives from scholars who have studied this figure extensively, offering us a well-rounded view. Finally, we'll wrap up with a conclusion that ties all these points together. Throughout this presentation, our goal is to uncover not just the story itself, but what it reveals about symbolism, tradition, and human values that continue to resonate. Hello everyone, I'm Burning Afrobeats, and today I'm excited to introduce you to Hiram Abiff. This slide is all about giving you a clear overview of who Hiram Abiff is and why he's important. Now, Hiram Abiff is a central figure in Masonic tradition, often considered a symbol of integrity, skill, and leadership. He's often depicted as a master craftsman, representing qualities like dedication and loyalty. Understanding his story helps us grasp the deeper values and lessons that are woven into Freemasonry. Throughout this presentation, we'll explore how his story connects to broader themes of morality, craftsmanship, and personal development. So, keep in mind that Hiram Abiff isn't just a myth or legend. He embodies ideals that many strive to emulate today. As we move forward, I'll show you how these principles can inspire us in our own journeys. That's the essence of this slide, setting the stage for understanding the symbolic significance of Hiram Abiff in our broader narrative. Now, let's delve into the background and significance of Hiram Abiff, a central figure in Masonic tradition. Historically, Hiram is linked to the construction of Solomon's Temple during the 10th century BCE. He's often seen as a symbol of integrity and martyrdom, representing the craftsman's struggle and sacrifice. His death can be viewed as an allegory for the trials faced in the pursuit of knowledge and spiritual enlightenment, a story that echoes themes of loss and resurrection found in many ancient narratives. This historical context really deepens our understanding of why Hiram's story holds such importance within Masonic teachings and how it relates to moral and ethical growth. Moving on to his role in Freemasonry, Hiram Abiff is more than just a legendary figure. He embodies core values like integrity, craftsmanship, and the relentless pursuit of truth. As the architect of Solomon's Temple, his story emphasizes loyalty and sacrifice. In Masonic teachings, his death is seen as an allegory for the moral trials members face on their journey of self-discovery. His narrative encourages us to uphold our values, face challenges with courage, and continually seek enlightenment. These lessons reinforce the fraternity's fundamental principles of brotherhood and virtue. Finally, Hiram Abiff plays a crucial role in Masonic rituals. His story symbolizes not only integrity and knowledge, but also the ongoing quest for personal and moral transformation. Through ritual reenactments of his death, members explore themes of sacrifice and rebirth, which serve to strengthen their commitment to loyalty and fidelity. Engaging with his narrative in these rituals helps Masons connect more deeply with their own journeys, fostering a strong sense of identity and community within the fraternity. Overall, Hiram's story is a powerful allegory that continues to inspire and guide us in our moral and spiritual development. Let's take a closer look at the legend of Hiram Abiff, a central figure in Masonic tradition. Hiram is often regarded as the master builder of King Solomon's temple, and his story has deep roots in ancient myths from the Near East, where themes of betrayal and resurrection are quite common. Essentially, his story functions as a moral allegory, emphasizing core values like loyalty, fidelity, and integrity. Over centuries, this legend has grown and intertwined with various cultural interpretations, which has only strengthened Hiram's symbolic importance within Freemasonry. In the legend, Hiram Abiff represents the ideal of fidelity and the relentless pursuit of truth. Key characters include King Solomon, who symbolizes wisdom and authority, and the three ruffians, Jubela, Jubilo, and Jubelum, who embody betrayal and ambition. Their interactions with Hiram highlight the importance of loyalty and sacrifice. When Hiram refuses to reveal the secrets of Masonry to the ruffians, it ultimately leads to his tragic death. This part of the story serves as a powerful reminder of the moral trials faced in the pursuit of knowledge and moral uprightness. Now, regarding the origin of this legend, it's believed to stem from ancient stories that emphasize themes of loyalty, secrecy, and sacrifice. Hiram's death, shrouded in intrigue, was caused by these rogue Masons seeking his knowledge. His refusal to betray the secrets he protected demonstrates the tension between loyalty to one's principles and the destructive nature of ambition. This pivotal moment in the legend encapsulates key moral lessons that are fundamental to Masonic teachings and rituals. So, in essence, the story of Hiram Abiff is more than just a tale. It's a profound allegory about the values we uphold, the moral challenges we face, and the importance of integrity in our personal and collective journeys. Now, let's dive into the fascinating theories surrounding the death of Hiram Abiff. As many of you know, Hiram Abiff is a central figure in Masonic tradition, symbolizing integrity and the pursuit of truth. Over the years, numerous stories and interpretations have emerged about how he met his end. Some believe his death was a literal event, while others see it as a symbolic story representing the trials and sacrifices involved in the quest for enlightenment. One prominent theory suggests that his death was orchestrated as part of a moral lesson, emphasizing the importance of fidelity and perseverance. Others interpret his demise as a metaphor for the struggle against ignorance and the pursuit of higher knowledge. What's especially interesting is how these theories tie into the larger themes of the presentation, namely, the idea that myths and stories, like that of Hiram Abiff, serve to teach and reinforce core values within a community. So, as we explore these different perspectives, keep in mind that the story of Hiram Abiff isn't just about a single event. It's a layered narrative that reflects deeper spiritual and moral ideals. Understanding these theories helps us appreciate the symbolic richness embedded in the legend and its relevance to personal growth and community integrity. On this slide, we're exploring the traditional or mainstream Masonic interpretation of Hiram Abiff's death. Essentially, many Masons see this story as a powerful allegory, something that symbolizes the ongoing struggle between life and death, knowledge and ignorance. Hiram, who represents wisdom and skill, faces betrayal from fellow craftsmen, and this betrayal reflects the trials that initiates face on their journey. His death isn't just a literal event, it's a symbol of the transformative process of seeking enlightenment. It teaches us the importance of integrity, fidelity, and the relentless pursuit of truth. These lessons are moral in nature, emphasizing resilience and steadfastness in the face of adversity. Moving to the next key point, there's a deep symbolism of death and resurrection embedded in Hiram Abiff's story. His violent demise stands for the trials and tribulations we all encounter in life. But what's crucial is that his subsequent resurrection signifies the potential for personal growth and enlightenment that can follow hardship. It highlights that death, in this context, isn't the end but a precursor to rebirth. This duality reflects core Masonic ideals of renewal and continuous self-improvement, guiding members toward inner discovery and spiritual evolution. Finally, the traditional interpretation also carries important moral lessons. Hiram is often seen as a martyr of virtue, someone who embodies the ultimate commitment to principles like integrity and sacrifice. His story teaches Masons that steadfastness and honor are vital, especially when faced with adversity. Ultimately, Hiram's legacy reminds us of our moral obligations, our duty to uphold justice and truth, not just for ourselves, but within the fraternity and society as a whole. This interpretation underscores the enduring value of moral resilience and virtue as guiding principles in our Masonic journey. Now, let's explore some alternative ways to interpret Hiram Abiff's death. Many scholars and enthusiasts view his story through mythological lenses, drawing intriguing parallels to ancient myths of heroism, sacrifice, and even resurrection. For instance, there's a strong connection to the Osiris myth, where the god is dismembered and then brought back to life. This analogy is quite fitting because it symbolizes renewal and initiation, core themes in Freemasonry. Hiram's tragic end, then, can be seen not just as a story of loss, but as a transformative journey. It reflects the idea of death and rebirth, which are central to many mythologies worldwide, suggesting that enduring trials ultimately lead to wisdom and enlightenment. Moving on, Hiram Abiff is often linked to historical figures like King Solomon, who oversaw the construction of the Temple of Solomon and the craftsmen of that period. Some theories propose that Hiram's death symbolizes a struggle against tyranny or oppression. This aligns with themes of loyalty and betrayal that appear throughout history, including in early Christian martyr stories. Additionally, his story is sometimes viewed against the backdrop of ancient mysteries and societal upheavals, framing his death as a metaphor for the ongoing quest for truth and enlightenment. It's about the larger struggle to uncover deeper knowledge amid chaos. Now, from a psychological perspective, Hiram Abiff's story can be seen as an archetype of the martyr, someone who embodies integrity and the pursuit of enlightenment. His death acts as a catalyst for transformation, not only for the characters involved, but also symbolically for the entire Masonic tradition. The emotional reactions of those who confronted him, those feelings of turmoil and loss, really mirror universal themes of the human condition. It's about the tension between knowledge and ignorance, and the human desire to find meaning even in the face of sacrifice. Ultimately, Hiram's story invites us to reflect on our own journeys toward understanding and wisdom, especially through the lens of trials and tribulations. Now, let's take a closer look at the symbolism in Hiram Abiff's story. This legend is rich with meaning and has been interpreted in many ways over the centuries. At its core, it reflects themes of integrity, resilience, and the pursuit of truth. Hiram Abiff, as a central figure, symbolizes the quest for knowledge and the importance of maintaining one's principles, even in the face of adversity. His story reminds us that true mastery and enlightenment often come through perseverance and moral strength. These ideas resonate deeply with our overall theme today, which is about the enduring power of symbolism and how it can inspire us to uphold our values. By understanding the deeper meanings behind Hiram Abiff's story, we gain insights into universal principles that can guide us both personally and professionally. It's a powerful reminder that our actions and commitments can have lasting significance, much like the symbolic lessons embedded in this ancient legend. Now, let's explore the role of symbolism in Hiram Abiff's story. As many of you know, this story is filled with powerful symbols that serve as allegories for our personal journeys toward transformation and enlightenment. For example, the square and compasses are more than just tools. They represent moral integrity and the balance between our physical and spiritual selves. The working tools remind us of the importance of craftsmanship, not just in building structures, but in shaping our character and virtues. Then we have the three ruffians, who stand for ignorance, greed, and moral failure. These symbolize the obstacles we face on our path to true knowledge and understanding. All these symbols work together to emphasize themes of resurrection and the relentless pursuit of wisdom, which are central to Masonic teachings. Moving beyond the story itself, Hiram Abiff's narrative resonates deeply with symbols of death found across many cultures. Death, in this context, is not just an end but a gateway, symbolizing both physical death and spiritual rebirth. For instance, the act of being buried can be seen as a metaphor for spiritual transformation, echoing beliefs from ancient Egypt about the afterlife. Other cultures, like the Aztecs or Tibetans, view death as a passage to another form of existence. This shared symbolism reminds us of the cyclical nature of life and the universal quest for enlightenment beyond our mortal existence. Finally, the temple in Hiram Abiff's story is a powerful symbol of both the physical and spiritual pursuit of knowledge. It represents the sacred space where individuals come together in search of truth and understanding. Building the temple parallels the process of constructing our inner selves, integrating the material and spiritual worlds. Hiram, as the master builder, embodies leadership, sacrifice, and the continuous quest for higher understanding. His role underscores the idea that true wisdom arises through overcoming trials and tribulations, linking our mortality with our divine aspirations. In essence, these symbols, whether of death, the temple, or tools, are all interconnected. They guide us in our journey toward enlightenment, reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge is as much about inner transformation as it is about external achievement. Let's take a closer look at the allegorical meanings behind Hiram Abiff's story. His demise is more than a tragic event. It actually symbolizes a profound process of transformation through death. It represents shedding our old selves and embarking on a journey toward enlightenment and rebirth. This idea underscores that, through adversity and sacrifice, we can attain greater spiritual wisdom. Just as Hiram's death leads to the awakening of new truths, it suggests that facing our mortality can be a catalyst for personal growth and a deeper understanding of life's mysteries. Ultimately, it guides us toward a transcendent existence beyond the physical realm. Now, Hiram Abiff's story also symbolizes the universal quest for truth, both on a personal level and within our collective journey. His unwavering commitment to integrity and secrecy highlights the struggles we all face in pursuing authenticity in a world that often seems corrupt or superficial. The narrative teaches us that true enlightenment often comes through trials and tribulations. To uncover deeper truths, we must confront our fears and make sacrifices. Hiram's ultimate fate serves as a powerful metaphor for how seeking truth is inherently transformative. It urges us to navigate our own paths, despite the challenges and setbacks along the way. Finally, Hiram Abiff stands as an archetype of the master builder, embodying the pursuit of knowledge and the desire for personal transcendence. His character reflects core principles like craftsmanship, integrity, and sacrifice, values that define the ideal Freemason. His journey illustrates the ongoing struggle between earthly desires and spiritual enlightenment. It emphasizes the importance of loyalty, moral strength, and resilience when facing adversity. By embodying this archetype, Hiram encourages us to seek wisdom, uphold ethical values, and build our own legacies through continuous learning and personal growth. Now, let's take a step back and explore the historical context of Hiram Abiff. You might be wondering, who was he and why is he significant? Well, Hiram Abiff is a central figure in Masonic tradition, representing the archetype of integrity, loyalty, and skill. His story is rooted in ancient craftsmanship, but over time, it has taken on symbolic meanings that resonate deeply within Freemasonry and beyond. Understanding his story helps us see how these timeless values, trust, perseverance, and moral uprightness, are woven into the fabric of many cultural narratives. These themes are not just historical. They connect to our overall discussion today about how symbolism and tradition shape our understanding of identity and morality. So, by examining the story of Hiram Abiff, we gain insight into the enduring power of allegory and how it continues to influence modern interpretations of virtue and craftsmanship. It's a fascinating lens through which to view the broader themes of this presentation. Now, let's turn our attention to some key historical figures that help us understand the story of Solomon and Hiram Abiff. First, Solomon himself, who reigned around 970 to 931 BCE. His kingdom was famous for its wealth and impressive architectural achievements, most notably the first temple in Jerusalem. This grand project set the stage for the story of Hiram Abiff, who was a master craftsman working within Solomon's kingdom. Hiram's skills were crucial in bringing Solomon's vision to life. His legendary death, often seen as a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice, reflects the broader themes of dedication, secrecy, and the pursuit of knowledge, values that resonate deeply within Masonic tradition. Now, moving on to the role of builders in ancient societies. Hiram Abiff isn't just a character. He's a symbol of the master builder, representing the skilled artisans who constructed monumental structures. But their importance went beyond mere construction. These builders also held social and spiritual significance. They were considered guardians of sacred knowledge and traditions, helping to reinforce societal cohesion and spiritual values. Understanding this helps us appreciate why the story of Hiram is so meaningful. It embodies the ideals of craftsmanship, loyalty, and the transmission of sacred knowledge that are central to Masonic teachings. Finally, let's consider possible historical counterparts to Hiram Abiff. For example, some link him to Hiram, the king of Tyre, who played a role in helping build Solomon's temple. Others draw parallels with Imhotep, the ancient Egyptian architect renowned for his engineering genius. There are also interpretations that connect the story to the myth of Osiris, emphasizing themes of death, resurrection, and renewal. These connections illustrate how the story of Hiram Abiff blends myth and history, symbolizing universal themes of construction, sacrifice, and rebirth, concepts that appear across various cultures and traditions. This broader perspective enriches our understanding of his story, highlighting its enduring significance. Now, let's delve into the societal implications of Hiram Abiff's story. His death really reflects the complex power dynamics and governance challenges faced by ancient societies. As a master builder, Hiram's role suggests a merit-based leadership, where skill and knowledge earned respect. But his untimely demise also reveals how fragile authority can be within hierarchical systems. We see conflicting interests among craftsmen and rulers, which demonstrates how power can often be contested. And when betrayal occurs, the consequences can resonate even today, serving as a reminder of the importance of integrity and collaboration in leadership. Moving on, the story also highlights critical themes of loyalty and betrayal, values that are central not just to Masonic tradition, but to society at large. Hiram's unwavering dedication to his craft and to his fellow Masons stands in stark contrast to the betrayal he faces from those he trusted. This duality underscores how fragile trust can be and the societal fallout when that trust is broken. It encourages us to reflect on how loyalty forms the moral backbone of communities and organizations. When loyalty falters, the entire social fabric can be at risk, impacting collective progress and harmony. Finally, Hiram Abiff's legacy extends beyond his time, deeply influencing modern culture. He symbolizes core values like integrity, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. His story inspires countless themes in literature, film, and art, serving as a metaphor for resilience in the face of adversity and the ongoing quest for truth. In Freemasonry, Hiram is seen as the ideal builder, an exemplar of ethical conduct and community spirit. His enduring influence shows how mythic figures can shape societal values, fostering a collective identity rooted in moral principles and the continuous search for enlightenment. So, in many ways, Hiram's story remains a powerful symbol of the virtues we aspire to uphold today. Now, let's take a closer look at the key characters driving this movement. When we talk about burning Afrobeats, we're really highlighting a unique blend of artists, producers, and influencers who are shaping the sound and culture. These characters are not just performers, they are innovators pushing boundaries and redefining what Afrobeats can be. Their stories are intertwined with the broader narrative of how African music is gaining global recognition. It's important to understand their individual contributions, whether it's a groundbreaking hit, a viral dance, or a new production style, that collectively propel the genre forward. By analyzing these key figures, we get a clearer picture of the dynamics at play and how their creativity aligns with the overall theme of cultural expression and global influence. In essence, these characters are the heartbeat of this vibrant movement, and understanding them helps us appreciate the genre's evolution and its exciting future. Hiram Abiff is a central figure in Masonic tradition, symbolizing the ideal master craftsman. He represents qualities like integrity, wisdom, and dedication to one's craft. When we think of Hiram, we see someone whose unwavering commitment to Masonic principles highlights his strong moral character. His bravery is especially notable. Standing firm and refusing to betray sacred secrets shows his loyalty and sense of honor. This act of steadfastness, even in the face of danger, makes him a powerful symbol of virtue. His mysterious nature and tragic fate add layers of depth and intrigue to his story. Hiram's narrative evokes a sense of reverence, making him a central figure not just in lore, but in the moral lessons that guide us. Overall, he embodies sacrifice, virtue, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge, core ideals within Masonry that inspire us all. Hiram Abiff truly represents the epitome of integrity and skill, serving as a model for mastery in our craft. His importance goes beyond his skills. He stands as a martyr, embodying loyalty and the willingness to sacrifice for higher ideals. From his story, we learn important lessons about perseverance, staying true to our principles even when faced with adversity, and the relentless pursuit of truth. His journey reminds us of the values that unite us as Masons, values like loyalty, sacrifice, and the constant search for knowledge. Hiram's legacy influences our moral teachings, encouraging us to uphold our principles regardless of the challenges we encounter. His story is a call to introspection and personal growth, inspiring us to embody these virtues in our own lives. When we remember Hiram Abiff, we see more than just a historical or legendary figure. We see a symbol of integrity, sacrifice, and the pursuit of truth. His story is about loyalty and steadfastness, traits that define us as Masons and as individuals committed to higher ideals. The manner of his death symbolizes the ongoing struggle against ignorance and betrayal, reminding us of the importance of trust and moral courage. His legacy continues to influence our moral framework within Freemasonry. It teaches us the importance of sticking to our principles, even when it's difficult. Ultimately, Hiram's story encourages us to reflect on our own values, to stay committed to the principles we hold dear, and to grow morally through the lessons his life imparts. On this slide, we see the story of the beehive and the three ruffians, which really highlights some core themes in our discussion. The motivations of these three ruffians in the mystery of Hiram Abiff's death are driven by a mix of greed, ambition, and a thirst for power. Each of them is after the secrets that Hiram holds, secrets that could elevate their status within the Masonic order. Their actions show us how personal ambitions and envy can push individuals to betray those they once trusted. It's a stark reminder of how unchecked desire can lead to destructive choices. Now, the beehive itself is more than just a symbol here. It stands for industriousness, teamwork, and the pursuit of higher knowledge, values deeply rooted in Masonic tradition. Think of it as a metaphor for collective effort, where everyone works together, much like bees in a hive, striving toward a common goal. The beehive also emphasizes unity and sacrifice, especially in the story of Hiram, who is portrayed as a dedicated leader. His death sparks a reflection on loyalty, betrayal, and the importance of community. It invites us to consider how each person's role contributes to the greater good, and what legacy Hiram leaves behind. When we look at the relationships among these characters, Hiram and the ruffians, it's crucial to understand how trust is tested and broken. Hiram embodies wisdom and integrity, but his tragic fate reveals how fragile trust can be. The ruffians, driven by greed and ambition, represent deceit and betrayal. Their actions show a stark contrast, loyalty versus treachery. This dynamic is a powerful lesson about how jealousy and personal gain can corrupt even close bonds, leading to devastating consequences. It's a reminder of how important it is to nurture trust and be wary of those who might betray it for their own ends. Overall, these relationships and symbols help us grasp the broader themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the importance of integrity. They serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the fragile nature of trust within any community. Now, let's explore the role of rituals in helping us understand death. Rituals are really powerful tools. These are the practices and ceremonies that communities develop around death. They serve multiple purposes. They honor the departed, provide comfort to the living, and help us process the grief that naturally comes with loss. What's fascinating is how these rituals vary across cultures, yet they all aim to create a sense of connection between the living and the dead, and within the community itself. They often incorporate meaningful symbols, music, prayers, or specific customs that convey respect and acceptance. By engaging in these rituals, people find a way to make sense of death, which can otherwise feel so overwhelming and mysterious. They give structure to the mourning process, transforming grief into a shared experience rather than an isolated one. Throughout this presentation, we've seen how rituals are not just traditions, but vital tools for understanding and coping with mortality. They help us confront the inevitable, giving meaning to death and reaffirming our cultural values and collective memory. As we delve into Masonic rituals, it's clear they play a vital role in shaping our understanding of death within the fraternity. Take the third degree, for example. It's not just about learning secrets, but about exploring deeper themes like mortality, resurrection, and the pursuit of knowledge. Through symbolic acts and allegories, these ceremonies encourage us to confront our own mortality and inspire moral and spiritual growth. The story of Hiram Abiff is particularly significant here. His narrative underscores the transformative power of these rituals, illustrating how facing death can lead to rebirth and enlightenment. These ceremonies serve as important rites of passage, marking our journey toward greater understanding of life and death. They highlight loss and renewal, reflecting the universal human experience of grief and hope. Moreover, these rituals act as a bridge between death and initiation. They symbolize the personal transformation that comes with confronting mortality, an essential step towards spiritual development. Through ceremonial death, we are invited to explore life's mysteries, recognizing that Hiram's death is not just about loss, but about the potential for spiritual resurrection. Ultimately, these practices deepen our connection to the metaphysical journey beyond this life, guiding us towards enlightenment and understanding. Now, let's delve into the comparative analysis of death rituals across different cultures. As we see, these rituals vary widely, and that variation actually offers us valuable insights into their underlying beliefs and values. For example, in ancient Egypt, the opening of the mouth ritual was essential for ensuring a safe journey into the afterlife. It highlights how deeply connected their concept of life and death was. On the other hand, in Mexico, the Day of the Dead is a vibrant celebration that honors and remembers the deceased, emphasizing familial bonds and remembrance. What's important here is that these rituals do more than just mark a death. They provide frameworks for understanding mortality. They guide the living through grief and also reinforce cultural identities and shared histories. This comparison helps us see how rituals shape societal views on death, and in turn, influence how we interpret stories like that of Hiram Abiff. Now, moving beyond just one culture, we see that many religions have their own death rituals, which serve as powerful expressions of the symbolic death concept. These rituals act as bridges between the material world and the spiritual realm, helping communities acknowledge loss, facilitate the transition of souls, and strengthen communal bonds. Whether it's mourning customs, funerary rites, or initiations, they all underscore a shared human understanding of mortality. When we examine Hiram Abiff's death within this broader context, these parallels in rituals reveal deeper meanings. They show us how societies interpret and incorporate the mystery of death into their cultural narratives, giving us a richer understanding of its significance. Finally, rituals play a vital role in society by providing structure around death experiences. They help individuals process grief, serve as communal expressions of mourning, and reinforce social cohesion. Through these rituals, we see how different cultures, despite their unique practices, share a common goal: to help us navigate the transition from life to death and find meaning in that process. Analyzing these collective practices gives us a broader perspective on the importance of Hiram Abiff's death in the Masonic tradition and what it reveals about our universal relationship with mortality. Now, let's turn our attention to how modern interpretations and influences have shaped what we see today. Burning Afrobeats has been pivotal in this movement, blending traditional sounds with contemporary styles. This fusion has created a dynamic and evolving genre that resonates globally. It's fascinating to see how artists incorporate new genres, production techniques, and cultural elements, all while maintaining the core essence of Afrobeats. This ongoing evolution not only keeps the music fresh, but also broadens its appeal across different audiences. Ultimately, these modern interpretations highlight the genre's versatility and its ability to adapt, ensuring that Afrobeats continues to grow and influence worldwide music trends. Now, let's explore how Hiram Abiff continues to influence modern Freemasonry today. His story remains a powerful symbol, representing core values like integrity, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of truth. In contemporary rituals, Hiram is often seen as a metaphor for personal transformation, encouraging us all to strive for moral and ethical growth. His allegorical tale is still used to reinforce important virtues such as loyalty and resilience, helping to promote brotherhood and the ongoing quest for enlightenment within our fraternity. Essentially, Hiram Abiff is more than a legend. He's a vital figure shaping our teachings and values. Moving on, you'll notice that different lodges interpret Hiram's story in unique ways, reflecting their cultural and regional influences. Some focus on his moral teachings and personal sacrifice, emphasizing the ethical lessons behind his story. Others highlight the allegorical aspects, viewing his death as a symbol of the journey toward enlightenment. This diversity enriches Freemasonry, allowing each lodge to craft rituals and traditions that resonate deeply with their members' experiences and values. It ultimately strengthens our shared understanding of brotherhood and personal growth. Finally, the story of Hiram Abiff still resonates strongly with today's Masonic communities. It serves as a profound allegory for integrity, perseverance, and the search for truth, values that remain vital in our society. Modern interpretations encourage us to reflect on our moral responsibilities and inspire a sense of unity and purpose among members. The story motivates us to embody principles like brotherly love, relief, and truth, especially as we navigate an increasingly complex world. In doing so, Hiram's legacy continues to foster community involvement and ethical leadership, reinforcing the timeless relevance of our foundational ideals. Now, let's explore how the story of Hiram Abiff has been interpreted and reimagined through various cultural lenses. Modern adaptations of his death appear in literature and film, often highlighting themes like sacrifice, betrayal, and the pursuit of knowledge. For example, Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol heavily features Masonic symbolism, weaving a narrative filled with mystery and conspiracy that keeps the legend relevant today. Films, on the other hand, tend to emphasize the allegorical aspects, highlighting morality and ethics through stylized storytelling. These adaptations do more than just keep the legend alive. They spark important discussions about its relevance in contemporary society. Moving beyond storytelling, Hiram Abiff has also inspired numerous artistic and musical works. In visual arts, he is frequently depicted alongside Masonic symbols, which underscore the moral and ethical lessons embedded in his story. Musicians have incorporated his legend into orchestral compositions and folk songs, often conveying deep emotional and philosophical reflections. These creative expressions present Hiram Abiff as a symbol of enlightenment and the ongoing quest for truth. They allow audiences from different cultural backgrounds to connect with his mythos, reaffirming his lasting influence in modern creative expression. Finally, when we look at mainstream culture, we see that Hiram Abiff's story continues to resonate. Films like National Treasure weave elements of Masonic lore into adventure narratives, echoing themes of secrecy and discovery. Similarly, references in music and literature reveal a fascination with hidden knowledge and the mysteries surrounding death. These cultural adaptations serve to reinforce the idea that Hiram Abiff's story remains highly relevant today, symbolizing heroism, moral integrity, and the enduring search for enlightenment in our collective consciousness. Now, let's turn to some perspectives from scholars on this topic. As we can see here, burning Afrobeats is a prominent figure in this space, and their insights help us understand the deeper cultural and social implications. Scholars often highlight how Afrobeats isn't just music, it's a reflection of identity, resilience, and innovation coming from Africa. They emphasize that this genre has grown beyond borders, influencing global pop culture and challenging stereotypes. It's important to recognize that scholars see Afrobeats as a form of soft power, shaping perceptions and fostering cultural pride. This perspective ties into our overall theme of how local expressions can have a powerful global impact. By examining these scholarly viewpoints, we gain a richer understanding of the genre's significance, not just as entertainment, but as a cultural movement that resonates worldwide. Let's delve into the fascinating world of comparative mythology and see what scholars have uncovered when analyzing similar myths across cultures. One of the key ideas is that many stories share common themes, especially around death and resurrection. For example, the story of Hiram Abiff in Freemasonry has striking parallels with myths from other cultures. The Egyptian myth of Osiris, for instance, tells of his death and eventual resurrection, which closely mirrors Hiram's narrative of betrayal and symbolic rebirth. Similarly, in Greek and Roman mythology, the story of Demeter and Persephone captures themes of loss, renewal, and transformation. These parallels suggest that Hiram's story isn't just a Freemason legend, but part of a broader, universal archetype, stories that reflect our shared human experiences of mortality and renewal. Moving on, scholars have looked at Hiram Abiff's death through different lenses. Some see it through the lens of the archetype of the sacred king, figures who sacrifice themselves for the greater good and are reborn or revitalized afterward. Joseph Campbell, for example, talked extensively about the hero's journey, and Hiram fits into this pattern, facing death, seeking truth, and ultimately achieving a form of spiritual rebirth. Mircea Eliade, a well-known historian of religion, emphasized that death and resurrection motifs symbolize transformation across many ancient cultures. These insights help us understand that Hiram's story is deeply connected to themes of knowledge, mortality, and renewal, elements that resonate with human experience across time and cultures. Finally, these case studies from different mythologies reinforce a powerful idea, that stories of death and rebirth serve a universal purpose. Whether it's Osiris's martyrdom, Prometheus's betrayal, or Hiram's sacrifice, they all depict figures who die to bring about renewal or enlightenment for their people. These stories highlight a universal quest, our collective pursuit of knowledge and spiritual awakening that crosses cultural boundaries. By comparing these myths, we gain a richer understanding of Hiram Abiff's significance, not just within Freemasonry, but as part of a larger tapestry of human storytelling about mortality, transformation, and the pursuit of higher truths. Let's explore the psychological perspectives behind the legend of Hiram Abiff. Psychoanalysis suggests that his death symbolizes the ongoing struggle between our conscious and unconscious minds. In this context, Hiram represents the ideal self, embodying qualities like integrity and knowledge, while his murder reflects the inner conflicts and fears that can hinder personal growth. From a Freudian perspective, the violence can also be seen as a manifestation of repressed desires, highlighting the tension between societal expectations and our individual aspirations. This duality reveals the deeper psychological conflicts we all face in our quest for identity and meaning, and it invites us to reflect on how trauma and loss influence our human experience. Moving to archetypal analysis, Hiram Abiff's death embodies universal themes such as sacrifice, betrayal, and resurrection, themes that are common in mythological stories across cultures. Scholars see Hiram as representing the archetype of both the hero and the martyr, symbolizing a transformative journey of the self. His death acts as a catalyst for initiation and psychological evolution within Freemasonry, illustrating how trials can lead to personal growth. By examining these archetypes, we gain insight into the collective unconscious, those shared symbols and themes that connect us all, and our enduring human quest for meaning through adversity and renewal. Finally, if we consider Hiram Abiff's death from a perspective of identity and meaning, it becomes a profound reflection on personal sacrifice. The story highlights the tension between individual aspirations and the collective values we uphold. It prompts us to think about how our sense of self is shaped by both internal convictions and external pressures. This intersection encourages a deeper understanding of our identity, how loyalty and integrity influence who we are. Ultimately, the story serves as a powerful reminder that embracing our purpose often involves navigating societal expectations and overcoming challenges, guiding us toward growth and self-discovery. Thank you for sticking with me through this presentation. As we come to the conclusion, I want to emphasize the key points we've covered today. We've explored how burning Afrobeats is not just a musical genre, but a vibrant movement that connects cultures, inspires creativity, and opens up new opportunities in the music industry. The core idea is that embracing this genre can lead to greater global recognition and collaboration. Throughout this presentation, we've seen how the energy and authenticity of Afrobeats are driving its rise worldwide. So, as we wrap up, I encourage you to think about how you can leverage this trend, whether in your business, your music, or your cultural projects. Burning Afrobeats is more than a genre. It's a powerful force shaping the future of music and cultural exchange. Thank you for your attention. As we come to the end of our exploration, let's briefly revisit the main theories surrounding Hiram Abiff's death. We've looked at both the traditional Masonic interpretations and some alternative historical analyses. The popular view emphasizes the idea of symbolic death and resurrection, which represents personal enlightenment and spiritual rebirth. On the other hand, there are theories suggesting a literal assassination, which raises questions about leadership, loyalty, and even betrayal within the fraternity. This mix of myth and history adds layers of complexity, showing us that the story isn't just a moral lesson, but also a reflection of power dynamics and secrecy. This dual nature encourages us to keep exploring Hiram Abiff's legacy and consider how it still relates to modern Masonic practice. Now, the mystery surrounding his death remains unresolved, and that's part of what makes it so fascinating. Over the years, many theories have emerged, each shaped by different cultural, historical, and philosophical perspectives. This ongoing intrigue underscores the rich symbolism embedded in Masonic rituals. As interest in Hiram Abiff persists today, it prompts us to ask deeper questions about truth, secrecy, and the pursuit of knowledge within the fraternity. Ultimately, his story continues to serve as a powerful focal point, inspiring both Masonic study and broader philosophical inquiry into the nature of mystery itself. Looking ahead, there are many exciting avenues for future research. The symbolic significance of Hiram's story within Freemasonry offers rich potential for deeper understanding. Future studies might compare interpretations across different cultures or explore connections with other mythologies. Additionally, examining how Hiram's narrative influences modern rituals could shed new light on its ongoing relevance. By integrating historical texts, archaeological findings, and contemporary insights, researchers can uncover even more about the legends surrounding Hiram Abiff. In doing so, we can deepen our appreciation of Masonic tradition and see how these ancient stories continue to resonate today. As we reach the final thoughts, I want to emphasize how Hiram Abiff's story remains incredibly relevant today. His death symbolizes core themes like integrity, sacrifice, and the ongoing quest for truth. These themes are not just ancient lessons. They resonate in our modern society, especially when we face moral dilemmas that challenge our values and ethics. His story pushes us to reflect deeply on loyalty, the pursuit of knowledge, and the struggles that often come with seeking enlightenment. Ultimately, Hiram Abiff is more than just a legend in Freemasonry. He's a timeless symbol that encourages personal growth and societal progress. Now, I'd like to talk about the mystery surrounding his death. This enigma isn't just a story, it's a powerful reflective tool. It invites us to explore themes like loyalty, integrity, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. It makes us think about our own ethical choices and how we navigate the tension between ambition and moral responsibility. By examining Hiram's story, we learn important lessons about resilience and the importance of holding onto our principles, lessons that are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. Finally, I want to highlight the broader significance of this mystery. It's not only a part of Masonic lore, but also a cultural symbol linked to universal themes like death, resurrection, and the search for deeper understanding. When we delve into the various interpretations and theories about Hiram Abiff, we open ourselves to philosophical questions that challenge us to consider the meaning of life, truth, and human existence. Engaging with these stories enriches our perspective and helps us appreciate the ongoing human quest for knowledge and enlightenment. So, in exploring Hiram's story, we connect with something much larger, a continuous journey toward understanding ourselves and the world around us. Thank you so much for joining me today and exploring the Masonic audiobook library. I hope you found it both inspiring and informative. This library is more than just a collection of books. It's a gateway to understanding our history, values, and the principles that unite us. By making these audiobooks accessible, we're opening the door for members and interested individuals alike to learn at their own pace and in their own time. Remember, continuous learning and sharing knowledge are core to our tradition. So, I encourage you to explore these resources further and keep the conversation going. Thanks again for your time and attention.